Dear members of the ASK community, dear parents, dear teacher, and dearest class of 2019, it is my absolute honor to be standing here saluting my classmates and I. I remember not so long ago when my parents dropped me off in front of the old ASK campus for the first day of high school. Everything seemed so foreign and overwhelmingly scary. At the time, it seemed like those unfamiliar faces I was seeing in the hallways there would be no chance of them being the best friends that I would have, and nor did the prospective years seem like they would be the best ones I would experience. 10th grade was a new beginning for most of us. We were trying to find ourselves amongst unfamiliar faces and unknown surroundings, but who knew that the smallest projects or the unpleasant icebreakers would be the reason why we are all today here and we are so close? We went from learning about the Black Death to trying to decipher what civil disobedience means. We went from literally burning a bathtub in Dubrovnik to sneaking out to get McDonald's in Istanbul. And we went from desperately trying to finish our interactive notebooks on time to sitting in front of a mechanics worksheet we could have sworn we hadn't seen before. We went from our very first 5-member model UN club to our very own inter-club conference. We went from strangers to family, and it all seemed to have happened in the blink of an eye. Surely we all had our bad days. Sometimes having chemistry on first period on a rainy day just wouldn't work out, especially when we didn't have windows. But at the time, it seemed like those bad days were overweighing each of the good ones. But as we all stand here, we've come to realize that no matter which school building we were at, and no matter what staff was present at the time, we were actually the ones to engrave the best memories in our own minds. Just like Hemingway said in his memoir, A Movable Feast, I knew that everything good and bad left an emptiness when it stopped. And no matter how you all here are affected by the culmination of our teenage years, I can only hope that each and every single one of us here chooses to fill that emptiness with something better and something good as we continue on our own movable feast. I would like to thank each person present that has joined to commemorate our transition into adulthood. I would start by thanking my own parents and my own grandma, whom I dearly thank for everything they've done until now, for supporting my own erratic self. I am here because of you. I would also like to thank each parent here, including the teachers, who have become our secondary parents during this time. I believe I speak in everyone's name when I say that we all work towards making you proud and happy, and even if it may not seem so at certain times. I would like to thank Miss Ardita for making learning about cell division less painful, Miss Ilza for being the most understanding teacher ever, Mr. Dran for teaching us the fundamentals of civil disobedience and then making us write a short paper on it, Ms. Blerta for teaching us group work through the Soka Toa song, Mr. Spend for being everyone's greatest friend and for always giving us entrepreneurship tips, Ms. Blerona for understanding that we simply cannot write more than a paragraph in our CAS spreadsheets, Mr. Den for putting his whole AP literature class into an existential crisis, Ms. Yanela for teaching us to ramble on in a random topic for at least 30 seconds, much like I'm currently doing right now. Ms. Almeida for her endless physics demonstrations. Ms. Elza for desperately trying to finish the yearbook on time. Ms. Valia for making us film mini documentaries on our heritage. Ms. Javahida, Ms. Adriana, and Ms. Hisnia for attempting to make us all trilingual. Ms. Sihana for all of her charity work, Mr. Ahmed for being a true senior at heart and a true leopard amongst lions, Ms. Nora Musa for teaching us all common sense and useful literary devices, Ms. Emma for showing us the importance of speaking up, Ms. Nora and Ms. Zoga for always calming us down, Ms. Medieta for incorporating crafts into her teaching, Ms. Marigona for being the most humble drama teacher, and Ms. Bionda for being the best joke teller in school. I would also like to thank Mr. Yatmer for patiently giving us passes even when our school pants were ripped, Ms. Spresa for absolutely always dealing with students trying to meet last-minute college deadlines, Ms. Liliana for listening to all of our complaints, Mr. Ardian for his insightful Global Entrepreneurship Week speech, and Ms. Shannon for pledging to change the system through our mindsets. Each and every single one of you have contributed to making us the adults we're about to become. And so I've been advised due to time constraints to keep my shout-outs at a minimum and speed it up, but I'd like to address the class of 2019 as a whole when I say that each of our own unique selves have remarkably built this graduating class to be the most successful one yet, from the highest GPA all the way to having the highest community service hours. I believe that we should all be very proud of ourselves. A good English professor made us read Hamlet this year, from which I'll be taking the following quote. A father says to his son, "To thine own self be true," when he's just about to leave for college, which I hope every classmate of mine, including my own self, will stay true to their own selves. Through these high school years, we've proven that our diligence, our patience, and uniqueness have made all of our dreams come true. And I can only hope that our dreams will continue to be wild, scary, and seemingly unreachable because we are the ones that can reach them, no matter the obstacles along the way. I would like to end this speech with a simple salute as this chapter of our lives closes and as we open a new one, together, simply dreaming of what we will become. Cheers to the class of 2019.